everybody brought a Hanukkah? Has everybody got their Hanukkah set up? Yes? I hope so. Hopefully you'll lower that a little bit. Lower that, not volume, I mean key.
Oh.
There we go. Yay. What's going on here? Let's take a book. Yeah, let's take a book and... Oh, there we go. Does everybody have a song sheet? Yeah, na 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 yeah na 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 Shabbat Shalom, Happy Hanukkah. So just show of hands, who's gotten the good big Hanukkah present so far? Raise your hand. Yeah, so you got the big one. And so who's still waiting for that big one at the end? All right, so you guys are more for the big one at the beginning school. Okay, so first we need to wave hello to everybody in YouTube land, because we know that there are a bunch of people that said, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Should I go? It's so miserable out. But you are our troubadours. You are our diehards. This is good. This is good. This is good. So I'm hoping everybody came with their Hanukkot and are setting it up. We have some extra candles, so we're gonna do that first, because actually the tradition says that we have to light the Hanukkah candles before we light the Shabbat candles, right? So the tradition is that we light our candles and we flood our house with light, but we advertise the miracle by putting it on a windowsill. We can't quite do that here, but we can still flood our house with light. And the tradition is, right, so once you light those Shabbat candles, we don't light anymore. So that's why we light the Hanukkah ones first. So let's everybody gather around their Hanukkah, and let's make sure that everybody has matches. There should be. Does everybody have their song sheets? Because the blessings are on the song sheets. Everybody have their song sheets with the blessings on it and everything? And we're going to light the shamash and then start singing. Hang on. Do we all have a shamash going? No, not yet. We need a few minutes. We need a second. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim should know better. These are always the trick Shabbat candles, and why should they be any easier to light on Hanukkah? I'm like the third time around. Come on, we can do this. Little Ma'od Sor. Ma'od Sor Yeshuati Lechana Elishabeach Tikon Betefilati. Jesse, Jen, Carla. Ve'etachin matbeach mitzor hamnabeach azegmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach azegmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach. Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amid the raging foes were our sheltering power. Furious they assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. I see I'm not the only one with the trick candles. All right, now we can light the Shabbat candles. Mark, can you light our Shabbat candles? Thank you. Oh, it goes up there. It's here. Do you want to read it? Read it. You read this, actually. Read that.
Bless all who enter, O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness. Help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. Amen. And a little sweetness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. L'chaim, happy Hanukkah.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom. Okay, so you probably know the words to this, and you know the tune, but it's time we do things just a little bit differently on Shabbat Hanukkah. So Shalom Aleichem is on page 24. Ready? Little lower key. Can you lower the key? Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bochuni L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sevivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning bright. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. All right, so I have a little story for you guys. Actually, two. I've read this recently and I really, really liked it, and I thought this might be something really nice to share on this, I don't know, it's a bit of a mysterious day, right? Was it warm? Was it cold? Was it rainy? Was it snowy? Was it windy? Was it calm? It seemed like it was changing, like something mysterious was in the air. And then I read this story, and I wanted to share it with you. So we know that tonight is which night of Hanukkah? Sixth night of Hanukkah. And so on the sixth night of Hanukkah, how many candles do we light?
7.
Which is, right, 6 plus 1. Wasn't really meant to be a trick question, but yes. So we light the 6 and the shamash, exactly. And we know that, right? We always know. First day we start with 1, second day we start with 2. But this wasn't always so clear. Back about 2,000 years ago, when Judaism was only a baby 1,000-year-old religion, there were 2 schools of thought. One was the school of Hillel, and one was the school of Shammai. And the one thing that you need to know about the school of Hillel and the school of Shammai, they never agreed on anything. Never, ever. But the wonderful thing about the school of Shammai and the school of Hillel is while they argued and argued about everything, they still remained friends. They went to each other's house for Shabbat. And in this argument, the house of Shammai said, on the first night of Hanukkah, we light 8 candles. And after that, we gradually reduce. And the school of Hillel said, on the first day of Hanukkah, 1 is lit, and thereafter we progressively increase. Now, according to Shammai, who, by the way, if you're ever reading the Talmud and you run into an argument between the school of Hillel and the school of Shammai, here's a hint. Hillel, like always, wins the argument. But we still get to know what the argument was. And according to Shammai, we need to start out by lighting 8 candles on the first night and then decreasing by 1. And of course, Hillel says the opposite. But why? Why the difference of opinion? And this is one way to look at both of their perspectives that honors both Hillel and Shammai by listening to what it is they had to say. Now, our mystics teach that the Hanukkah candles that we all just lit, they are the channels for what is known as the Or Ganuz, the light of Ganuz. And this mysterious Or Ganuz is the original hidden light of creation, the light of creation that was so powerful that it put all of the universe into being, so bright that it illumines the entire universe, so bright that it was too much to handle, so it had to be hidden. And though while it is hidden, we still have the residuals of the original light of creation, and we learn that Torah is that light, that very original Or Ganuz light that is filtered, condensed, and formed into creation, and then encoded into the letters of the Torah, dancing with energy, filtered into each one of us who are living, each one of our lives, each one of our acts of goodness, and in each new way that you discover how to live that manifests itself in holiness. And as such, this Or Ganuz that is filtered and condensed and lives in each one of us is also known as the Or Ki Tov, the light of goodness that can flood goodness, blessing, and holiness into our hearts and into our world. So when Shammai was making this argument, what he says is when we're really trying to open our hearts to let the Hanukkah candles cleanse any last vestige of anger or bitterness from our hearts, that we can be pure, open channels for light and love, we need as big a zaftig burst of energy to get us started, a brilliant wave of loving and healing light to flush away any resistance that we might have and cleanse our hearts. And that's why he says we have to start with 8. It's sort of like, that big burst at the beginning. And then he says, and every day gets a little bit easier. Within a week, we've then internalized that light so much that our inner light has become so strong. And so with each day, we can acknowledge our progress towards increased internal light with a decreased external light. And then by the last night of Hanukkah, that single flame is enough to cleanse even the last remnant of anything obstructive. And that's why Shammai says we start with 8 and go down to 1. Hillel says no. We start slowly. No need to dive into the deep end of the pool all at once. Little step by step. The goal is the same, but that doesn't work for everybody. The way to go is to take that first step in the right direction. Just start with 1 candle, That's something everybody can do. Then the next day, light 2, the next day 3, and stretch open your heart gradually. And that way the results, he says, last longer. When making a big change, we take small and consistent steps. But soon, before you know it, our menorahs will be full. Well, which is right? Well, as I said, the perspectives, the arguments of Hillel and Shammai, they are known as arguments for the sake of heaven. And they're known as arguments for the sake of heaven because it's not about an ego and it's not about being right. It's always about being our best, serving the highest good that we can and serving the one. As we know, who do we follow? Hillel or Shammai? Hillel.
Hillel.
We always follow Hillel. It's like 2 times Shammai wins the arguments. But, says my teachers, sometimes we need both at the same time. So maybe next year, or maybe at some time when we feel that we need a especially big burst of light to turbocharge our heart space. Like 2 Chanukias, and go in both directions. So that's my story for you tonight. Let's continue. Oh, here's a new one. Except if you were in school, Lola, you know this one because you were in school. Isaac, were you in school on Sunday? We sang that one. Sammy, were you in school on Sunday? We sang this one. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. It's on the 2nd page. By the way, Glenn, the words are by Woody Guthrie, old friend of Glenn's.
How many nights for Hanukkah? Happy, joyous Hanukkah. Nights and days, days and nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the nights of Hanukkah. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the days and 8 are the nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. How many candles do I light? Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the candles you should light. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the nights of Hanukkah. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the days and 8 are the nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 1 for Moses on the mount. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 2 for the mother and father love. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the nights of Hanukkah. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the days and 8 are the nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 3 for the books that Ezra taught. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 4's for the Hebrew children. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the nights of Hanukkah. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the days and 8 are the nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 5 for the brothers Maccabee. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 6 for the tricks the kings did play. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the nights of Hanukkah. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the days and 8 are the nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 7 for the sins that Hannah died. Not so happy Hanukkah. 8 for the new built altar place. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the nights of Hanukkah. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the days and 8 are the nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 9, light that God shines. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. Around this whole wide world tonight. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the nights of Hanukkah. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. 8 are the days and 8 are the nights. Happy, joyous Hanukkah. That's like an earworm. You sing that, it's like you can't stop singing it. Exactly. So, does anybody know that this is actually a very special year? It's a historic year in the White House at Hanukkah time. This is the year that a brand new Hanukkah menorah was made, especially, this is true, this wasn't taught, this doesn't have anything to do from mystical, magical light.
This year, a special Hanukkah was made for the White House and is the very first menorah to be added to the official White House collection.
Nice.
It was unveiled this past week, and it is now an official part of the White House holiday lineup. And according to the White House, it was created by the Executive Residence Carpentry Shop last year. The base of the menorah was crafted from historic wood that was removed from the White House around 1950 during a Truman era renovation. And the sterling silver candle cups of the menorah were influenced by the silver tumblers that President Thomas Jefferson ordered for his Virginia home in Monticello in 1810. Wow. In past years, not the first time there's been a Hanukkah in the White House, but in the past years, the White House they got some loaners. They had been lit and displayed. The very first time the Hanukkah candles were lit was actually during the first Bush administration. But typically the ones who were on loan held a special significance or a historical connection. For example, in 2007, it was a menorah that once belonged to Wall Street reporter Daniel Pearl's great-grandfather. Wow. And then in 2010, then President Obama was on hand to light the candles on a stainless steel and brass menorah that was recovered from a Louisiana synagogue that was damaged by Hurricane Katrina. As I said, it was actually the second Bush. George W. Bush was the first president to feature a Hanukkah celebration. But this new menorah is now official. It's the official White House collection, in that official White House collection, and that means it will potentially be used for years to come. And once an item has been added to the collection, it's considered a permanent fixture of the White House archives and cannot be removed by any future administration or the Executive Mansion's staff. So, happy birthday, happy Hanukkah to the White House. Let's do dreidel songs, shall we? Where is it? On the back of page 1, I think. Yes, it is. Did everybody find it? I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body, with legs so short and thin, and when my dreidel's tired, it drops and then I win. Oi, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin, a happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. So who feels like they really know the game of dreidel, and who feels like they need a little reminder of the rules? Anybody feels like they could use a reminder of the rules? Well, I have them all written out, but for those of you who have been recently reminded, the 4 sides of the dreidel, they spell out the phrase. If you know it, say it with me. Nes, Gadol, Haya, Sham. So, nun for Nes, you spin it. Anybody know what happens when you land on a nun for Nes? What, Lola? Right, nun for nothing, right? Nothing at all, nothing. That nun is for nothing. So if it lands on a hey, what happens? You take half. Hey for half. Escadol. Okay. What happens if you land on a shin? What do you say, Sammy? Yeah, shin, shin. You play two? You're a high roller family. We always just put one in, but you can do two. I love that. That makes the stakes a little higher, a little more intriguing game of dreidel. So shin, shin, put two in. Shin, shin, put two in. And then gimel. What happens with gimel? Yeah, get it all. Gimel is your goal. You get it all. So they're good ways of rhyming it. All right, so you're spinning. Here's a hard one. Anybody know how to say dreidel in Hebrew? Sevivon. And what does a sevivon do? It's sov, sevivon, sov. Spin, spin, right. So actually sevivon is spinner, because sov means spin. Okay? Let's do this one. We're going to start slow. This is going to be a tongue twister. And then we're going to get faster, like a dreidel, because there's nothing more of a drag than a slow dreidel, right? So we're going to start slow and then build it up. Sevivon, sov, 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 Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha, hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha, hu la'am. Let's speed it up. Ready? And Sevivon, sov, 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 Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha, hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha, hu la'am. Ready? It's really on turbocharge now. Ready? Ready? Speed it up. How fast can we sing this? Sevivon, sov, 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 Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha, hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha, hu la'am. Even faster. One more time. Really. Sevivon, sov, 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 Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha, hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha, hu la'am. Gimel. Sevivon, sov, 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 Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Hanukkah, hu chag tov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha, hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha, hu la'am. All right, so since we're singing in other languages, we've heard of Yiddish. And if Cantor Jeff were here, but he couldn't come because it was way worse weather down in Princeton where he lives, he would have been singing to us in Yiddish. And who's heard of the language of Yiddish? Anybody have a language of Yiddish? And that's a combination of German and Hebrew, some Slavic languages. It's a very old Jewish language, not as old as Hebrew. But there's another language that the Jews of Spain spoke, and that's called Ladino. And that is a combination of Spanish and Hebrew. Actually, very old Spanish, because it was spoken in the 1400s and earlier. And we're going to sing this one in Ladino. Ready? Ocho candelicas. Ready? A little lower. Sorry.
What? A
little lower? Can we do it a little?
Yeah.
Okay, a little. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Ocho candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Ocho candelas para mí. Oh, una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas vou fazer con alegrías y placer. Muchas fiestas vou fazer con alegrías y placer. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Los pastelicos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelicos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Oh, 1 candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. And on top of that, I'm going to start slow. Maybe not go quite as fast. I know next time we need some canastas. Is that what they're called? Yeah. Right? Castanets. Thank you. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Hag Yafe Kokach, Or Chaviv Mesaviv, Gile Yeled Rach. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Sovevim Sov Sov, Sov Sov Sov, Sov Sov Sov, Manayim Vatov. One time more. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Hag Yafe Kokach, Or Chaviv Mesaviv, Gile Yeled Rach. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Sevivon Sov Sov, Sov Sov Sov, Sov Sov Sov, Manayim Vatov. That's great. When was the last time we just all got together to do this? We're on the first page, I think. Yes, the very front page, where it says Al Hanisim. So this is definitely a Hanukkah song, but what you need to know is it's also in our Siddur. This comes right out of our Siddur. This is a line that we add in our prayers during Hanukkah, and another kind of happy holiday that we have, Purim. So this is a line that gets added to our holiday prayers, Hanukkah and Purim. Let's sing Laila Lai first, because I think it's fun. That's pretty catchy, right? Let's do it again. For the brave, let's have the Hebrew ready. 1, 2, 3, and Al Hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagevurot ve'al hateshuvot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavotenu bayamim ha'em bazman hazeh. Again. Al Hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagevurot ve'al hateshuvot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavotenu bayamim ha'em bazman hazeh. Yainai, 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 na 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 na. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
בימים המנה הזה, על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
All right, so since we're gathered, it's really important, I think, that we're able to remember those in our community who maybe aren't here tonight because they're not feeling well. Because there's so many people that are coming down with the flu or some RSV or COVID. There's like so much going on, and that's not even including the people who they're hurting in their hearts or their psyches or their relationships. So we're going to give a Misha Berach, pray for the people who are hurting, and Kaddish for those who we're remembering. And then I think we're going to move on to the business at hand, latkes. So if you have a Siddur, I think that's 253, right?
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
This week we're praying for Millie Rottenberg, Howard Simon, Gloria Berkowitz, Gittel Bat Chana, Beryl Ben Sima Vishmuel Leib, Steve Gellis, Sholem Avram Ben Golda Vayeshayahu, Michael Rosenblum, Harav Miriam Yael Chaya Bat Sarah Vayitzchak, Maxwell Zwain, Menachem Mendel Ben Yehudit Michael, Alan Mentha, Alon Ben Yael Perel, Eric Rivchin, Luke Wright, Kendall Chaya Rafaela Bat Yehudit Sharon, Dolores Mikkel, Harav Eliyahu Ben Miriam V'Avraham, Anita Wellen, James, Janelle, and Bill Edgar, Dr. Valerie Lani, Elliot Tario, William Hall, Barbara Hall, and Nechama Fega. And to these names we add may they all know healing and wholeness speedily, uneventfully, and may those who watch over them also know strength and healing. You might have read the email, but as a community, we are mourning the loss of our very long-time member, Evelyn Malsberg, who died just a few days ago. And we're in Shloshim for Susan Strauss-Pinn and Lawrence Kushner. We're observing the yard site of Florence Dodelson, Hyman Golan, Lorraine Eleanor Levine, Jeanette Lewin, Herman Opper, Michelle Raskin, Leon Nathan Schachman, Barbara Schwartzbord, Ellen Strauss, and Dr. Victor Wagner. Is there anyone else here who's observing a yard site or is in their year of mourning? I invite you to rise and say their name out loud so that we can offer the words of the mourner's Kaddish, words of praise and appreciation. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudisha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru, amen.
Okay, so we saved the last, I think, maybe even the best song for last. It's the last one, I think, on the page, on the back page. It's called Lots of Latkes. And we need everybody's voice to sing this. And so you've been primed, okay? Because once we sing this, we're going to slide right into the event of the night. Exactly. One thing we need to do before that is I'm going to invite Tom to give us some announcements. Tom, you want to do announcements?
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Ben, for the beautiful music tonight. Thank you to everybody who participated. Oh, and our drummers.
Isaac and Lola.
Thank you. And to everyone who came and brought this beautiful light to our sanctuary.
And especially to to Adam and Ro, who made the latkes happen
yes.
through a comedy of errors in the kitchen in our own congregation that couldn't accommodate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Comedy of errors it was. News flash. We have been pre-approved to receive $1.5 million from FEMA so far, and we expect to receive more money to renovate the social hall downstairs. The renovation is happening, but we need everyone to donate to cover the amount that FEMA doesn't pay. If you haven't stepped up, please take the Chai Challenge. You can do it from the temple website. There's a link in the weekly. There are plenty of links everywhere you go.
So in case you don't know, the Chai Challenge is a multiple of Chai, which is life, which is 18. So we're hoping that every single family is able to donate a multiple of 18 every month for 12 months.
Right. Could be $18 a month.
Could be $180 a month.
It could be.
It could be $360 a month. Whatever you can do.
Oh, that's higher math.
Higher math.
That must be calculus.
Higher math.
Higher math.
Chai. That's very funny, Tom. Higher math.
Higher math. Oh, it's higher math. So please, if you haven't made your pledge, get onto the website and do it. We need for the congregation to step up and show that we care about our social hall and our religious school, which will be housed there, and all the other activities that will take place downstairs that we care about it as much as the U.S. government cares. We had a matching fund where one of our members, a generous member, had agreed to donate $180 per month if for each of 10 families that donated $180 per month. That match has been satisfied.
Although I bet you if we ask her, generous family might donate more if additional families stepped up to $180 a month.
They might. Don't let that stop you.
Yeah.
And does your workplace match charitable donations? Many companies do. If you don't know, find out and help make your donation dollars go further. Lots of companies do. Many companies use Benevity as their conduit for sending money to worthy causes like Temple Beth-El.
Yes, and we're registered with Benevity,
We are
aren't
registered. Our 38th annual Reverend Martin Luther King Memorial Service will be held January 20th at 7:30 p.m. Our keynote speaker will be Jonathan Holloway, the president of Rutgers University, and it will feature numerous dignitaries, elected officials, and musical guests, and much, much more, including our Hebrew school children, maybe even some drummers.
Definitely. The choir's going to sing, the kids are going to sing. So January 20th, 7:30, definitely going to be here for that. It's going to be a rousing good time.
Yep. Let's see, what else? Oh, come to services and double your mitzvah points by just pushing a couple of buttons. It's only 1 or 2 buttons, right, Seth? You can talk to Seth Lubin over there about being part of our tech crew to ensure that our services are live streamed to everyone watching at home. There are plenty of other ways to rack up mitzvah points by volunteering a little or a lot. Just ask me or ask the rabbi while we're munching on latkes. Religious school will not meet again until Sunday, January 8th. Got a couple weeks off. Make good use of it. Work on your drumming technique. Play Hoboken presents LatkeCon on Sunday, December 25th. That is 2 days from now, featuring activities for children and adults. You can find details and a registration link in the weekly email. The next Wine and Cheese pre-nag will be Friday, January 20th at 6:40.
Really.
That's what it says.
I know, but we'll have wine and cheese on MLK. It's the same.
No.
Yeah.
MLK. Well, we'll reschedule that.
Yeah. Skip.
How
We'll have
about
wine and
Taksha
cheese
Bhat?
at MLK. It'll be fantastic. But
No wine and
the real
cheese.
event
Oh.
that's going on is MLK commemorative
Okay,
at 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
You wouldn't. The very next day after the MLK service, January 21st, will be our next Tot Shabbat at 10:30 a.m. right here for singing, dancing, story time, and other age-appropriate activities. Our next community Shabbat dinner will be January 27th at 7 p.m. Reserve your place by January 24th. Details in
The weekly. And on
Thank
the
you.
website.
Change the world. Let's see. Another announcement. We've dropped all mask and vaccine requirements, but we've established a mask-required section of the sanctuary for people who feel more comfortable sitting near other masked people. That section is in the rear. You can
See how
see all the
crowded
people
it
back
is.
there. There's still room. Change the world one meal at a time with 1 hour out of your week. Help feed our hungry and homeless neighbors on Thursdays at the Temple Beth-El Food Pantry. It's from 5:30 to 6:30. Help feed them by volunteering or making a donation of food or money to the Temple Beth-El Food Pantry. Details are on the website, or you can just come here and volunteer. You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, Tom. Okay. Lots of latkes. This is a 3-parter. Okay? So Ben and I are going to attempt to
I get it.
this, but we're going to have to split up the room. Okay?
So let's learn all 3 parts first.
Okay, that sounds like a good
So
idea.
this is the first part.
Ready?
Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat 'em up. You guys,
Lots.
2, 3, 4.
Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's go eat 'em up.
Again.
Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat 'em up.
Next part. Listen. Civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve. Again. Civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve. One more time. Civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve, civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. One more time. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Last part. Listen to this. Maccabee, 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 Mac, 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 Maccabee, 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 Mac, 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 Maccabee, 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 Mac, 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 Mac. Last time, Maccabee, 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 Mac, 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 Mac. Actually, the end is Maccabee, Maccabee, Mac, Mac, Mac.
Okay, so now, Mike, Seth, Jesse, and Ro, and Jen. No, not Jen. You're gonna be the lots of latkes, okay? Lots of latkes.
Yep.
Lots. Okay. Jen, Adam, Carla, Tom, and Glenn. You're gonna be the Sevi von Sov Sov, Sevi von Sov Sov, Sevi von Sov Sov, Sevi von Sov Sov. Okay. And Mike and Sammy and Mark and Lola and Isaac and Amanda. Yes, thank you. We're gonna be the Max. Okay, ready?
Good. You want? Let's do each part like twice, and then we'll put it all together. I'll like help whoever needs it.
Okay, so everybody's gonna practice our part twice, and we're gonna bring it all together.
The lots of latkes, people, twice through. Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat 'em up again. Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat 'em up. Civvy won't, people. 2, 3, 4. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Again. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. One more time. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. Civvy won't solve. The last group. The Maccabee, 2, 3, 4. Maccabee, 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 Mac, 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 Maccabee, 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 Mac, Mac, Mac. All right, you ready to try it together?
Okay, ready?
So let's try this. Let's.
You're
get the
singing
lots-
for your latkes
The
now.
lots of latkes people twice, and then we'll add the civvy won't sub. The lots of latkes got to keep on going over and over again, and then twice with both you guys, and then we'll bring in the Maccabee people. Cool. Ready? Here we go. Lots of latkes. 2, 3, 4. Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat 'em up one more time. Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Here we go, Civvy won't. Civvy won't solve. 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 Civvy won't
Let's all
solve.
eat 'em up.
Maccabee, 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 Mac, 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 Maccabee, 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 Mac, Mac,
Let's all eat 'em up.
Wow!
still warm. That was great. You all sang for your supper. And thank you, Lola and Isaac, for being our percussion backup. Oh, wow. Dreidel.